You're watching Cars.tv.
Good afternoon, I'm Charles Bronson of Southern California. We are at the Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance. We're actually today in the Fagoni and Fallaci class. The Parisian coach builders started basically in 1934 with Mr. Fagoni, and later he tapped a man by the name of Fallaci for money and development purposes. As you walk this line of fine automobiles up against the bay here, you'll see the progression of the Fagoni influence and design and the evolution that had actually occurred over the 6-7 years leading up to the Second World War and a few things thereafter. The car behind me is a car that was actually found in Brescia, Italy in the late 80s. It was restored in Europe, then came to America and became part of a fine collection of motor cars that resided in Denver, Colorado by Roger Wilbanks. The car actually went through a number of restorations, getting it back to what you see today. And I was actually fortunate enough to be part of the acquisition of the car about 3 years ago. We've now since refreshened the car and we're happy to have it here. It's one of 6 that were part of the competition division of Delahaye. Delahaye actually was a very competitive car in a lot of Formula type events throughout Europe and owner-driver sort of stuff, but they were an automotive manufacturer as well. This was actually the factory demonstrator for Delahaye. As such, the demonstration car was not what the press thought they were driving around in. They thought they were getting a regular Delahaye 135. If you'll notice the brake drums in a few moments, you'll see the different head on the engine. It's bigger valves, air-cooled, oiled, sump in the car. This is a serious racing car, clawed in a very civilian style. So the press writers of the day were given this to go out, and they came back scared half to death because this thing was so powerful. How are you going to sell this to the public? Of the 6 of this series that were built, 2 survived. The closed front fendered car to my left and an open fendered car behind me. So it's finished in black with a red bird, let's call it. Everybody calls it ostrich, it's bird. Anyway, it's done with a little bit of love and reminisce to the French and the Parisian sense of design and styling of the day and time. It's a model 135. 35 means 3.5 liters. The engine itself came in multiple configurations, from a standard M, 1 carburetor, sometimes 3 carburetors, but mainly 1 carburetor, to an MS, 3 carburetors, special exhaust, to this full-blown spec version, which is a much wider head, larger valves. It has a competition gearbox, lightweight alloy braking, air-cooled brakes. It's a really hot piece of equipment.